Introduction to Windows Forms. In this video, we're going to learn about Windows Forms in Microsoft Access, and we have one particular goal in mind, and that is to see how we can use forms as a very intuitive object in Microsoft Access database. For you to appreciate what we're talking about, I decided to go over on the internet and take a look at some forms so that I'll have a view of what forms really are. Before I show that to us, let us define what a form is as far as Access is concerned. As you can see in this particular slide, a form is described as, or by way of function, as the guy that stores and edits data in a unique way or format. Recall that when we discussed about tables, we mentioned that your tables are able to store your data. And so from what we saw in creating the fields and entering the records, we could say that you're editing the data. However, your forms do all of that in a unique way. That is what makes forms very unique. Let me turn on a page I just looked up at the internet where we see a view or a cross section of specific forms which would help us appreciate what I'm trying to say. Let's say we take a look at this particular form here, which is a feedback form. Now you can easily see from the way the form is displayed that you could easily see a contact us area, you could see a name tag, an email, and then a message. This is kind of similar to what you see on the web page. So we're saying, for instance, if this were a Facebook page, notice something that we always encounter when you go on to Facebook over the internet. You have a particular form. Sorry, I was already logged in the last time. Alright, you have a particular form here. Okay, and this form allows you to enter the first name that's under the sign up form. You see the way the whole details are all arranged. Now this is different from what you have in an Access table. So what we're trying to say now is that we can actually use Microsoft Access to create forms of this nature, and this could actually make our life much easier. So I'm going to go back to Microsoft Access right now, and we're going to build upon what we had done with the database 3. Already we had worked with tables, we had worked with queries, so we want to work with forms and see how this works. Okay, now for you to be able to work with forms very well, you basically find out the forms tool under the create tab, the same area where we found the queries, but this time a little to the right you're going to see forms group. And under the forms group, there are several buttons here, including form, form design, blank form, form wizard, navigation, and then more forms. If you're using Microsoft Office 2007, you would realize that these objects or these tools are arranged, but probably in a slightly different order. And so I expect that you might probably see the same tools but in a different order. Okay, now for us to be able to work with forms, it's very easy. I must tell you, it's very easy. It's as simple as actually a click, or more or less 2 clicks. Yeah, you have a form. let me show you how that works. Now I am going to create a form for my guidance table. Notice that the guidance table has been selected. It is not open, by the way. Now with it selected, I would just click on form, and bingo, I have a form created for me at the instance of a click. And this particular form, I can see, has all the records that I have entered in this actual table. How many records did we enter there? Can you remember? Okay, let's see. I'm going to double click on that, and yes, we have 4 records here. So let's see if those 4 records are actually displayed in our form. I have record 1 of 4. So if I'm clicking on next, I have record 2, record 3, and then record 4. So you could easily see that it is very simple to create a form. So typically in the case of this scenario I just mentioned, we do something: select a table, click on the create tab, and then click on form, and instantly your form is created without any hassle whatsoever. Isn't that nice? Now you might be wondering, what if we wanted to maybe make some slight adjustments to the form? Yes, you can always make an adjustment to your form. All you simply want to do at that instance now would be to simply go back to the home tab and then click on the design view of your form. That would make it possible for you to edit your form, move its contents around, like shift them. You want to make sure that the the forms are well arranged. You want to probably make some slight arrangements to all of the tools. You can do all of that in the form. So as you can see, in an attempt to make all of these arrangements, see what will happen to this form by the time I click on the layout view, or rather the form view. I've made some slight adjustments at this point. So on clicking on the form view over there, you see my form arranged in a different order, exactly the way I just made the changes at the design view. And so creating a form from this angle is quite simple. Now in the next video, we're going to see how we can now create the other kinds of forms from the form design, blank forms, more forms, and then the form wizard. I hope you're getting ready for that. Alright, so meantime, I'd like you to play around with this quickly, see how you could create more forms with the other tables that we have and queries, of course, and see how intuitive it gets. And then in the next video, we're going to build upon the knowledge we just acquired. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'll see you in a bit.